welcome to another edition of dDTalks. It's your girl Diane, and today is another Thursday. We are talking motivational language. Do you want to be inspired? Do you want to be motivated? The year is rapidly coming to an end, and you may want to start thinking 2018. What's ahead? Or did you close out the year really well on a high note? But guess what? You still have 3 whole weeks to go ahead, maybe two and a half. I have with me a guest that you do not want to miss. Sit tight for this particular edition. Guys, he is an author, a speaker, a leadership coach. In other words, he goes around and helps other people to become great leaders. So it is my privilege to introduce to you this handsome gentleman in the studio with me, Mr. Saji Ijiyemi.
Hey,
Welcome to dDTalks.
thank you so much. I am so privileged. I'm so glad to be here and to add value to people tonight.
Yes, that he will be doing, okay? Because that's what you're paid to do.
That's what I'm always paid to do.
All right, so let's quickly go into a little bit about. By the way, guys, do you see my sweatshirt today? It says straight out of North Pole.
Yeah,
If you're
it's snowing.
I know it's not. Well, we had our first snow, but really, we had ugly sweater day at work, so I wore that to work. So I'm kind of excited about that. But anyway, let's go back to our guest for the day, Mr. Saji. So tell us a little bit about your journey into this whole fancy life of yours. I would call it fancy, right? Because fancy is going out and empowering other lives is kind of a fancy life.
I mean, it
How did you
is.
find your way into this?
I mean, I think I found my way to this when you just, somebody said you can be a genius if you can use 1% more of your potential than other people, because a lot of people actually are living below their potential. And when you look at human potential, you see what people are doing compared to what they can do. Then
Right.
you always know that there can be more, and they just need somebody to help them over that
Identify.
point, identify it. So, and there's nothing like identifying your purpose. It's already there. You just have to identify it and work on
Oh, you're talking two big words that most people will spend a lifetime pursuing, right?
Right,
One of them is purpose.
right.
And then the other one is you talked about
Potential,
potential.
right.
So those are two big words that we take. I mean, it sounds like when you hear it initially, it sounds like potential. And then the other word is purpose.
Right.
But those are big things
Yes, they
because
have.
people spend a whole life, so people miss it. They never find that
They
purpose
never find it.
and they
So,
never find that potential.
right. So
So
we just help people to identify, to let them know that it's possible that they are more than what they have become.
So how do people, first of all, settle with the notion that they can't even do it?
And I think they sometimes when you see people in their element,
Mm-hmm.
kind of get discouraged,
Yes.
but not knowing that you are not actually created to do what they are doing. So you just have to find yours.
You know, honestly, you just have to. A lot of times we go to these conferences,
Right.
and the whole idea of going to the conference is to find your purpose.
Right.
So to say just find it, just it's not that simple.
Well, I agree with you. But
Just because
at
people
the-
do workshops.
right, like you are sitting here now, I'm sitting down here.
Right.
I assume and I guess you're comfortable because you do this a lot.
Right.
I mean, I am comfortable.
Right.
I do this a lot. But I
Correct.
tell you, there are people, once you tell them, tell them to talk, it's fine. But once you tell them there's going to be a camera in front of
Oh.
you, they're like, no, I'm not doing that.
Believe
know.
me, honestly, there's been so many times where some people I've invited some guests and they're like, well, it's going to be online. They're like, what? I thought it was behind the scenes. I didn't know there was going to be a camera
Yeah.
and all that. So once they understand that there's going to be a camera, it changes the
It
dynamics,
changes everything.
But today we are live. And by the way, if you would like to call into the studio, let's the number to call 301-429-9247. 301-429-9247. By the way, go ahead and share, because you don't want to miss all the good points that he's going to be giving. I told you have a piece of paper because he throws out these little tips There's little lessons that you would want to remember. Okay, so do not miss that. Share the cast, guys, so that we can enjoy the conversation. So back to
Awesome.
you. You are also an author,
Right.
right? An author, and you have an interesting book, and it's called "Don't Die Sitting."
Nothing is worse than doing
Mm,
nothing.
do something. Whatever you do, do something,
Right.
but nothing,
Yeah.
essentially.
Essentially.
And so this book, it's, I mean, I read the book myself. It's blessed me. There's so many lessons to be learned. So what is it about the book? What do you have to say about the book? If you would want to. Guys, I have my copy. I'm not even going to show you my copy because my version of the book is like chewed up. And of course I have an autograph copy
I
version.
think that's actually the best one to show. Because
I know.
that means you've devoured
Yes,
the
I've
book.
devoured the book, so I don't just like talk about it. So it says, and the person who risks nothing has nothing, is nothing, and will be nothing.
That's true.
That's what he wrote when he signed the book. So the book is called what?
Don't die sitting, guys.
So why? Tell us a little bit about the insights of this book.
Well, the insight came, when I left Nigeria, I left the shores of Africa. I went to Belgium. And when I got to Belgium, and they only speak two languages in Belgium,
Yes.
French and Dutch.
Dutch. Yes.
And I didn't know that until I got there.
You don't want to really ask a question. How do you go to a country you don't know what?
I don't know. Actually, I
That's
applied for my graduate degree.
Okay.
I applied to different schools, US, UK. But after 3 years, they are the only one that gave me admission. I said, well, I'll just go there. And everybody was saying, Saji, I mean, everybody is going to US, everybody is going to the UK. What are you looking for? Where is Belgium?
Yeah, a Nigerian in Belgium. Okay.
So I always think I can, I'm an explorer. I love adventures.
Correct.
So, but I got to Belgium and I discovered that life is very, very different here. I mean, like, how do you like to get in the bus and you can't even talk to anyone?
Jesus.
How do you go to the market? You tell them you want to buy this and you're looking for works. So that was the life there. And not only that, and no matter how good you are, if you don't speak the language, you can't get any job.
You're already at a disadvantage.
Yeah, you're
Right
already
there.
at a disadvantage.
You're already cut off.
And this is what happens in life when you see this guy at the back of the book. This is what we have. This is what we don't have. But in life has wired us to focus on what has left or who has left, but not what is left
Wow.
or who is left. So I saw all the disadvantages in Belgium. And there come a day that, let me tell you, I was washing cars.
Right.
People ship cars from Belgium to Nigeria. So I was washing cars. And sometimes there are cars to wash. Sometimes there is no car to wash.
So
then
you
the
started
first
like
time-
in the trenches.
Yes. So the first time I watched this, I think I watched about 3 cars. They gave me €5.
For
5
3 cars.
euros, yes. And believe me, that €5 was like gold because that was like the first time I held a foreign currency in my hand. And it was winter. So I got back to my room. I didn't know that my hand was frozen.
What?
My hand was
So
frozen.
you had frostbite.
Yeah, I didn't know. So I tried to open the door. I just see that I couldn't fold my hands. And I was so discouraged. Someone helped me to open the door. Got inside my room. I had to put my hand on the heater, to gain just a flow
Motion, yeah.
in my hand.
Sensation.
And I just was so discouraged. And of course, what else could I do? I pick up my Bible. I started reading the story of these 4 lepers. And these 4 guys, their story so ministered to me because they had leprosy. And by law, anybody with skin diseases cannot live in the city. They have to live outside of the city.
They were ostracized.
They were ostracized. And exactly that was how I felt. And I'm telling you, this is how so many people feel when they get to a place, they've left where they're coming from. They cannot fit into
Your
where
place
they
of
are.
comfort.
Yeah. So you're in a place like you don't just fit in at all. But not knowing that is actually the place where things really happen
Wow.
when you don't fit in. So, but I was reading their story to make the summary short. And they were outside of the city. In their future is trouble. In their past is hunger. So they are talking about what are we going to do with our present.
You're at a crossroad.
Yeah.
Basically at an intersection.
Right.
Yes.
So they said, look, we cannot go back to our past,
No, you can't.
but it's fearful to go into the future. But one of them asked a question. I so much love the story. He said, guys, why are we sitting here waiting to die? And I just picked my pen and a paper. I didn't even know that I was going to write a book.
Wow.
I just said,
can
Saji.
you imagine that?
I said, Saji, don't die sitting. And I just say, you know what? I'm in Belgium. I don't speak French. Je parle pas français. But
Now you speak French. Il parle français.
oh
maintenant.
yeah, oui, je parle français maintenant. But I say, you know what? I know I am loaded. I know I am gifted. I know I am talented. And I will not allow anything to stop me. But that don't die sitting. I don't have any clue what I'm going to do. But I know that I didn't come to die sitting in Belgium.
Yes, I mean you took a flight, okay?
Yeah, borrowed money, by the way.
So you had to make sure that you do that.
You have to make sure.
There's one thing that you said, you knew that you were capable. You
Right.
knew that you were this. You know, there's a lot of times that's that thin line where a lot of people don't know. You know, so you're in a place where sometimes, you know, and then you buy, because you don't know, you buy into whatever has been dished out to you.
That's
But
true.
you said you knew.
Right.
So in the midst of your trials, you were reassured of something.
Right.
So had you not had that foundation, you wouldn't have known enough to hang in there.
Right.
You wouldn't have known enough to apply your faith, perhaps.
Yeah, that's true. You know, one thing I love that you said is that people hold on to what was dished out to them. This is the way I explain it to people.
Right.
I assume you have a car, right?
Yes.
And if you look at the odometer of that car,
Correct.
it possibly goes from maybe until 220 or 240.
Correct.
But this is what happened in life. Now, the person that made the car said this car can go up to 240.
Yes.
Now you get on the road, you see speed limit
30.
60. I said, oh my God. But now you are driving the car below its potential because of a sign that somebody put out there.
Somebody has put a
A
limitation.
limitation on the potential of the car. And this is what happens in life through what we hear, what we see, what other people say. Because they have put that sign. And we are law-abiding citizens.
Correct.
And we obey that sign. And we never get anything done. Just because of that sign.
Wow.
And that's why I love that they say the first rule of success is break the rules. You just
must
have
break
to
the rules. First rule of success is break the rules. So you cannot confine, right?
You
so
cannot
if you
confine.
conform,
Right.
then you can't excel.
You cannot. I mean, you know, there's a book I wanted to write. I already have the title.
Okay.
It's Ferraris in Traffic.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, but that's crazy though. Imagine you buy a Ferrari
Now you're in traffic.
and you're
I have
and
never
it's
seen any frustration like that.
Yeah, because it's meant to take you from zero to
So just, but now you're at a stoplight and you're waiting. Because I see that with so many people. All you have to listen to, by the virtue of what I do, is hear them talk. I mean, you're so loaded here, Saji, I know, but.
Ooh. I think I can even learn from that because I have said those words quite a few times myself. So, you know, guilty as charged. But, you know, you talk about, you know, people, those standing at that stop sign with the
Right.
limitations.
Right.
Some of those limitations, do you assume that they are self-imposed? Because let's say now we have gone out of the context of the literal example, which is the street light.
Right.
We're talking about now practicality. You're living your life on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
What are those things that we've predefined, would you say, for ourselves and said, you know, now I can't do this. I can't move to another city because maybe it's not the right time, or I can't relocate. I can't go here. I don't have the money. I don't do this. You know, like we constantly say they can't
Right.
versus the I can.
Again, it's still back to the same principle. We are wired to focus on what we cannot do. It's a wiring. It's human nature.
Okay.
So you have to. It's just like an airplane that want to take off. You're going to spend a lot of energy on that runway of impossibility.
Ooh.
You just have, and that's why the energy, they use the most fuel, The speed is high because look, because if not, you are never going to get out. And that's why I love what Leo Buscaglia said. You know, that quote that the person who who risk nothing, ask
Has
nothing, is nothing, and will be nothing. So you have to challenge yourself that, you know what? You know, let me tell you this for people that don't know. I am the first person. I'm from Nigeria originally.
Okay.
I never
He's telling
traveled.
you.
I never traveled to Ghana. I never traveled to Benin Republic. I never traveled to Senegal. When I told my parents I'm going to be studying abroad in Belgium, it was like, whoa. You know, I remember my mom said, look, everybody I knew that has traveled overseas, they are going to meet one of their aunties, they are going to meet one of their uncles, they are going to meet one of their father's friends. Who are you going there to meet?
Exactly.
I said, I don't know. When I get there, I'll find out.
You'll figure it out.
So that's it's like, you know, breaking what they call a chasm. Like something, just invisible barrier.
Yes.
That didn't just allow you, but you have to make
and
a
here
conscious
where you
determination.
had made a decision and your family was about to deter you,
Right.
almost.
Because
your friends
it
were
has
already telling you,
never-
why are you going to a place where nobody has gone
Don't
to?
blame them. It has never happened. And that's what happened. It has never happened to anybody
That they knew.
that they knew.
Right.
So when you are saying stuff like that, it's like,
It was foreign to them.
it was foreign to them.
But
Like,
the dream was yours, not
right,
theirs.
not theirs. So
So
that's
a lot
why,
of times we have our dreams that nobody saw the dream,
Yeah.
but you. Then you go share it with somebody who has no idea, cannot
they're
relate
gonna
to
kill
it,
it.
and they kill it for
they
you.
kill it immediately. They kill it immediately.
Wow.
And that's why you have to. So that is how they are going to break out of it. That look, it's a conscious determination.
Yes.
I am going to do this.
Correct.
And you go for it.
I'm telling you. Listen, guys. Hey, guys. I have Saji with me in the studio. He's an auto motivational speaker. We're talking today about just motivational stuff. We want to inspire you.
Right.
And that's exactly what he's geared up for. He wants to spur something in you. Hopefully, at the end of this discussion, someone will get up, stop dying. And stop dying slowly, right?
Right.
He was about to die out of an experience
Yep.
and got inspired into something else.
Right.
It spiraled into the book.
Right.
I want to delve more into the book.
Okay.
You know, you shared this
Let's go
story.
for it.
And this is just, he takes a biblical story and a story that we've probably heard in so many different ways.
Right.
But this guy gives it another whole different spin. It's almost like a fictional story. I
love
almost read it, and if you had never read the Bible before, you wouldn't even know it was scriptural.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, if you had never read the Bible, let's say you were from another denomination, you'd be like, okay, I mean, what a great story.
Right.
But it is a great story.
It is a great story.
You
I love
play
it.
it out as characters
Yeah.
and stuff. You know,
Right.
you narrate their minds, you go into their minds, and very interesting perspective. So tell us about these four leopards, and what for you is the most relevant point, like the point that resonates with you as a person. The
I'm
most.
trying to look for it. I know that question was going to come.
Of course, it has to come.
And it's a chapter that says miracles along the way.
Yes. I
Miracles along the way. I just love it. Now, you're talking about how people can...
yeah, your miracles along the way. I think I even know where
Yeah.
it is. It's at the end.
Yeah, I think it's chapter 11.
Yes.
And in miracles along the way, there's a quote there that says you are either on the way or in the way. And a lot of people are not on the way.
Wow.
They are in the way.
Yes.
Because if they can get out of their own way, they will progress in life. Now, guys, this is what I want you to get out of these miracles along the way. Now, I want you to picture this guy. That's why I love telling stories. Because, sometimes we read the book, we read the Bible, we read everything we read, but we cannot. This is why movie is so important.
Right.
Because you get a picture.
Right.
So I want you to put yourself with guys who are ostracized, who does not fit with the so-called normal people.
Right.
So they don't have a house, they are homeless, they have leprosy, they are sick,
Right.
and there's no health insurance.
Wow.
So they can't sign
That's
up
a lot going on right there.
A lot of going on right there.
Right.
Now, immigration-wise, they don't fit. So they are actually outside of the city, not in any jurisdiction.
Right.
And I have been illegal in the US. So I can relate to them where you don't fit anywhere. So in their city, which is their past,
Right.
there was famine there. People are hungry. So they already decided they can't go back there.
They can't go back to farming.
They can't go back to farming.
So
Everybody's hungry.
You go back, you're going to die.
Yeah, you're going to die. So they said, look, if we stay here, nothing is going on. Nothing is happening. That is the challenge of
stagnation.
So many people now.
Spirit of stagnation.
Stagnation. They're
yes.
just, I want to move forward. I can't move forward.
Right.
Now, it's not that they can't move forward. They actually wanted to go into their future. But the problem is that the future is dangerous. Because the Syrian army, who was about to capture their city, was in their future. So it's like, we can't go back to where we came from. We can't stay where we are. And we can't go to the future. So we have a problem. What are we going to do? But one of them said, again, that let us go into the future. They said, if we die, we will have died anyway. And this is very important. So I want you to know that...
defining moment.
Yeah. We have all signed contracts with death. So I want you to get that. We don't just know when. When everybody's contract will be up. So you begin to live.
Wow.
Actually, when you assume that you're already dead. That is the only way you begin to live.
Wow.
So most of the things you want to do right now, the things that you look at, I want to do this, oh my God, but can I really do it? You are not doing it because it is an uncertainty. It is unknown. You don't know. But what they said is, you know what? We will go into the future with all its dangers, with all its uncertainties, with all its problems, because the only way actually to go is forward.
Right.
And I love when the Bible says, as they march. When they began to say, you know what? We are moving. Everything else started moving.
Jesus.
When they decide to move.
When they took action.
When they took action. And this is a problem with events, like you said. This is a problem with conferences, seminars. People go to church every Sunday. People go to mosque. People go to motivational. They can hear all those stuff, and that is fine. But believe me, nothing is going to happen until you move. I love the part in the book that says, successful people, they don't allow things to happen to them. They happen to things.
They happen to it. That's right. You gotta happen.
You gotta happen to it.
You gotta move across the wind against the wind.
You gotta go. So it said as they march. Now look at the people who are marching. These are sick people. These are homeless people. These are ostracized people. Right. People with no background. People with no family. People that have been. These are destitute. But the word says as they march. Now listen. God caused the Syrian army to hear noises as of a mighty army. So
God
four
caused
people
it.
are moving. Now the question is, why didn't God amplify their stagnation? No. Because
that's a good question.
You can never direct a parked car. You can never maneuver it.
My God, you can never direct a parked car.
You can never.
Wow.
So I know it is uncertain. That's what this book is about, to get you off the chair.
Wow.
And go do something. That's the old book. I know you don't know what is going to happen, and believe me, I don't know either. But you will never know until you
get
start
moving. So no one can take that car. They cannot tell you go to the left, go to the right, go north, go south, because you're packed.
Yeah.
Until you get into the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And start moving that vehicle.
Yeah. And that is where the fun is, because that is when everything starts happening rather. You want to talk about fear? Yes. You will feel the fear. You want to talk about uncertainty? Yes, you will feel the uncertainty. And let me tell you this. If you want to really discover yourself, you want to discover something about yourself, get into something that you have never done before. Something you're fearful of, something you think you will never be able to do. You start doing it.
Exactly.
And believe me, life will be as much interesting as you want it to be. For me, Belgium was fun. Now I speak French.
Look at that.
I'm telling you, it was
one of the few Nigerians who actually speaks French, okay?
Because it was just, adventure is always fun. I mean, look at the movie.
So had you not done that,
I would not have gone here.
You wouldn't have gotten here.
Because I wanted to come here
so
straight.
it created a ripple effect. It created a chain reaction, of so many things.
Right.
Along the way, there was
Along the way.
adventure. Maybe your destination was here.
Right.
But you picked up so many things along the way.
And that's why I said it is the miracle.
In the journey.
It is always along the way.
Wow.
So a lot of people want a miracle. It's not in the destination.
It's in the journey.
It's in the journey.
Wow. So, you want somewhere in the book you reference something about ability in disability.
I love that.
which ties in with the story of the lepers that you're talking about. Your ability in disability. I want you to share a little bit about that because that was so touching, and you it's still tied in, but I want you to talk about that, elaborate more on that.
Okay.
For those of you who are listening.
That the ability in disability came from, in Nigeria when you see when people are disabled, like you're written off. It's like you cannot do anything again. But when I came to the Western world, I see a lot of things. You go to sports arena, you see
the Olympics.
You see the disabled people, and I have never heard of Paralympics. Olympics for disabled people. I mean, it was mind-blowing.
Right.
When I watched it, I said, Saji, you must be so ashamed of yourself. People on wheelchairs playing basketball. I said, this is amazing. People on wheelchairs, playing volleyball and playing all this stuff. I said, oh my God. So right in their disability, they found their ability.
Woo!
So and I want you to write the word down. Again, human nature. You have to really go against human nature.
Yes.
Because look at hopelessness. How can somebody leave hope and travel all the way to hopelessness? I mean, come on. Just stay with the 4 letters and you are good.
Wow. How do you go?
How do you go from disadvantages? Just take the D's out.
Jesus.
You are left with advantages. So I want people to kind of change their mind and focus on the ability.
The abilities, not the
disability. And that's why I love the story of Nick Vujicic and the people who are written there. I mean, people who are doing stuff.
I mean, honestly, that guy, it's like he is just another, and he's married today.
And he's married, and he has kids, and he's having more fun
in
with
life.
People more than people who have their hands and legs.
So part of it is accepting.
Right.
You must accept the situation and then understand that, okay, in this situation, this is what I cannot change.
Right.
But because this is what I cannot change, I understand it, and then you focus on your strengths.
Right.
So guys, again, the thing is your ability in disability. So just because you appear to be disabled in one area does not mean you lack abilities
in other
to
areas.
do other things.
That's true.
So you just have strength in more areas.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about there's a whole major chapter, and then you even reference Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, the story of Stevie Wonder was impossible.
Stevie Wonder was, I mean,
I started at the. I'm a musician too.
Right.
So I've been playing music since I was a kid. Since 8 years old.
Me too.
So
Find
back then in church, so they want to develop us musically.
Right.
So a friend of mine learned the guitar. They put another guy on the drums. So now they said I should learn the piano. So they gave me this, I still remember, this Casio tone keyboard. So I took the keyboard home, I started practicing. After a while, I brought the keyboard back to the church. They said, why? I said, look, you know what? I don't think I can do it. It's too hard.
Right.
All my 4 fingers moving, and then I grew up in kind of a church where you have to read music.
Right.
This is not playing by ear, you have to read music. So you're reading, and you're playing, and you can't look at your fingers. So I brought the keyboard back that I can't do this. That was when I think I heard about Stevie Wonder. And somebody told me that guy was blind. I said, no way. I can see with my 2 eyes.
And
I can't play. Now you're telling me that a blind man is playing the piano and singing.
Right.
I said, you know what? Give me the keyboard. If a blind man can learn it, I can learn it.
You can learn it. So you see, you had accepted a limitation. You imposed a limitation. Fear.
Right.
Fear crept in. You panicked. Because it looked impossible.
Right.
Initially, you're like, okay, this is too complicated. I can't handle it. So you just started talking yourself out of it.
Right. Until.
And
this is where exposure comes in. most of us, I have a very good friend who is a big time entrepreneur.
Right.
But I love talking to him because he inspires me a lot too. He says, Saji, all I see growing up is selling. So he is exposed to it.
Right.
But a lot of us, we think we can't do it because we have never
Tried it.
and be exposed to it.
I like that example because I used to do a lot of network marketing. And every time you try to recruit someone, they would say, "Oh, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not that." But it's not about being a salesperson. I was not born a salesperson, but it's just about when you believe in it, you find, then the sales comes naturally because you buy into it and basically you start telling a story about it. So you're not really marketing a product per se. But a lot of times it's because we have convinced ourselves, we are bought into the narrative that you're not good, you're not cut out for this.
Speed
but
limits.
if you speed limits of life. I mean that example is good as every time I'm going to go to the stop sign and I see 30, when I'm trying to go 70, I remember that example. And there was one time I think when we listened to you at a conference, you talked about negativity and follow negatives. I don't want to repeat that narrative. I want you to share that example of what the power of negativity and negatives, the physical negatives, like going into a dark room and coming out with positives.
Right.
If you want to just shed some light a little bit on that, because the way you say it is completely Saji. Okay, so let me not steal that from you.
Okay, let me start with the quote. The quote said, "Fear is that little room where negatives are developed."
Right.
Yeah, because once you begin to panic, you can never think anything positive.
Fear
is that little dark room where negatives are developed. Because when you actually take the photo, in those days, before the digital.
Right, back in the day.
So they go into the dark room, they come out, you see the negative.
Correct.
That is the picture. But you have to go back into that dark room, and that is when they now, when they have the negative, they put it inside this dark thing because it must never see light.
Right.
And then they now put it in this chemical, once they put it on the film, and then they wash it. So the negative is actually not a problem. It was supposed to be something you ought to work with to develop the picture. But now people see the negative. They say, "Oh my God, I can't do anything with this."
Right.
And then the fear sets in. But if they can take the negative and go
into the dark room,
and
which is scary,
develop it, it is scary. But believe me, guys, it is about the only way you're going to develop it.
Absolutely.
Into the picture you really want to see. People think, people think, Saji, you are very confident. No. Before I wrote the book, the first question I asked myself, again, speed limit. Now, who is going to ever read a book you wrote? That's the question.
So you were seeing the impossibility. You were already seeing the outcome. But allowing yourself again. Had you not written, you wouldn't know who can read it.
I wouldn't know who can read it.
You didn't know me.
I didn't know you. I didn't know you would read it.
You didn't know who I was.
No.
And now you wrote the book, and because of the book,
you say, Saji,
exactly.
I need you to come into the studio.
Right.
And that is what people don't know. Where, I hope you don't mind me telling the story of Jesus.
Please.
Now,
pretty.
Jesus was born a baby. Who cares? The only person that was challenged was Herod because they are calling the baby king. He said, well, we cannot have another king if I am still on the throne. So he wants to kill the baby.
Correct.
But there are some people that are traveling from way, way far. The wise men. So they got to the king. They said, look, there is a baby that was born king. Oh, Herod said, interesting. You know what? We're actually looking for the same thing. When you find the baby, will you come and tell me where the baby was? But the wise men said something that I want you to really, really listen to. They said, where is that baby that was born king? They said, we don't know the baby. We don't know where the baby was. We don't know his family. But we saw something in the sky. And what we saw is what we are following to locate the baby.
Wow.
Now, the problem is most of you want to introduce yourself. Nobody knows you. Nobody is looking for you. But if you can begin to put something in the sky that people see, they will follow your book. They will follow your movie. They will follow your story. They will follow your inspirational video. And they will find you. That's why I love when the Bible says it is the gift of a man that makes you stop looking for way, stop looking for room. What can you put in the sky that people can see? Because people will follow it until they find you.
Wow. They followed the star.
Until
the star announced the baby.
So that's why I tell people, begin to put something out there. Wow. Believe me, people will follow it. Because that is what is going to lead them to you.
So that you don't have to announce yourself.
No.
My God. Guys, I hope you're writing because honestly, I'm glad this is recorded though because I have to go back myself and digest some of these things. If you want to be a part of, if you want to send some questions or tune in, there's so many comments that are coming through, and you want to dial in, feel free to dial in. The number is right here. It's 301-429-9247. Again, I'm speaking with Saji, motivational speaker, leader, development coach. I mean, the titles are and the auto speaker and what have you. So the conversation is all motivational language. And you cannot announce yourself now. A problem is that we're trying to go there and say, I am this, I am John, I am that. Let the world be announced.
Yeah.
Let the world announce you.
Let your gift.
Let your gift announce you.
Put something out there.
Let your gift. So now, this gift is the problem.
It is.
A lot of us don't know how to find that gift.
Okay.
So a lot of people, the gift is in you. It's buried in you.
Right.
And that's one of the things that challenges a lot of people. Or you're afraid of your own gift. You're not sure because you question it.
Right.
Instead of manifesting it, we're going out there talking to people who have no business, listening to it to begin with. You have to cherish it.
Right.
How do people discover? I know that's a loaded question. That's a loaded question, but you are a pro at this, so you would know what to tell them. How do people, if someone is saying, you know what, I feel like there's something in me, like I'm not fulfilled or I don't have the joy in what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to find this thing, this gift of mine. How can you guide them? What would be some things that would lead them to the discovery of that gifting so they can use it and put it out there for the world?
Okay. So the first thing is what makes you happy. Let's just start with that.
Okay.
Let's start with that. What makes you happy? Believe me, you want to, when you ask people this question, you want to say some grandiose stuff.
Right.
Something to make them look good.
To impress.
Thank you. But that's not really it. They want to tell you I love coding is a lie. Believe me, I have done coding before. And when semicolon wanted to drive me crazy, I said that is it. Saji, you're not made for it. What is that thing you do? It is not, people say pursuit of happiness. You don't pursue happiness. You can't pursue it. It is goodness and mercy. You don't follow it. They follow you.
Follow you all the days of your life.
What makes you feel in your element? Nobody has ever taught a fish how to swim. Nobody has ever taught a bird how to fly. Wow. It is called nature, natural.
How to breathe.
Yeah.
Human beings how to breathe.
It is just natural. What comes naturally to you. Right. I can study a book and break it down into lessons. It comes naturally to me. Correct. Because I'm a natural teacher. I tell people, they say, oh, what's your gift? I said, it's teaching. I don't have to. It takes me a while. Right in school, I was in children choir. I was leading children choir at 8 years old. Wow. I just want to teach them how to sing. I just want to teach people. In my school days, in my college, when the teacher finishes and people say they don't get it, they come to me. I do tutorial. After school tutorial.
Wow.
So I started doing it because I just gravitate, now, mark that word, gravitate naturally. If I take you to Barnes and Nobles, if I take you to the library, I say, you know what, you are free to choose any book to read. What books will you choose? That is how you begin to know.
Right.
That what books am I going to choose?
Right.
This is not exam book. Most of the book we read to pass. We don't read for understanding. And that is
True.
what
I just want to
that
get
is-
my grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. Then the second thing is what makes you angry.
Hmm.
It's like,
So you find what makes you happy and what
and
makes
what
you
makes you angry.
These are two
I
tips.
will leave into to that too. What are the things that you can't stand? Somebody can come into this room now and say, oh my God, guys, you don't put water to the right, you put this to the right, you put it to the left.
Right.
I don't, it doesn't mean anything
doesn't-
to
you-
me.
yeah.
But they have this, panoramic eye that even when they enter the room, they see the room already. Oh, why don't we put this light here? Because they are wired for the design. That's the way. My daughter is 11. Debbie told me, because anytime the problem we have with her is when you're talking to her, she has to be doodling something. So she draws fashion clothes. I say, Debbie, what are you copying to make all this drawing? Nothing. I just draw them.
Wow.
So she knew very early that
What's in her? Right.
And she's expressing it on paper. And I so much love the creator that he never created anybody without one thing.
Everybody has
Like
their
that.
own unique thing.
In their own unique thing. The problem is you look at people that are doing this and then you envy them.
Or you get intimidated by theirs
Yeah.
and think yours is inferior.
Right. And that's what normally happens. But the thing is that you have to start doing it. And let me tell you this, do it and fail at it.
And then eliminate it. But
Yeah.
at least you know you tried.
Do it and fail at it.
I want to highlight this point of someone having their gift and feeling inferior about theirs, because sometimes you could be passionate about, let's say, cooking.
Right.
But because, maybe your career path is in something else that maybe you studied in school, you feel like cooking, maybe I don't want to cook, and stuff. And so you keep suppressing that thing
Right.
and focusing on the wrong thing. And suddenly you find that you're not happy in whatever you do.
Right.
You keep going round and round and round in circles. And you really, truly never really find that true happiness unless you go back to your what it is that you were called upon to do.
That's it. I have a friend who is a photographer. I mean, this is a medical doctor by training.
Wow.
I mean, look at how many years went into studying medicine. Look at how many years studying into practicing. So I was so intrigued. So I called him. I said, tell me. I said, tell me.
Like
I don't get
in
it.
Africa, they'll be like, we need to check this
Yeah,
guy.
I mean, like something is wrong.
Something went off.
So I asked him, what is this thing about you? You're a medical doctor. I mean, I thought it was a PhD when I see doctor. No, he's a practicing medical doctor.
Wow.
He said, Saji, he said, anytime I see a camera, it was like the camera is always calling my name. I said, I ask you, what is it that anytime, like when I was young, I can get glued to the TV, just listening to speakers.
Wow.
Some people say, Saji, do you still want to watch? Oh, yeah, I still want to watch. Why? I saw something
Yes.
that
For you, it was.
for me, it
meant
was like,
more.
meant more like, but to somebody else, like, haven't you finished? Are we not done? No, we're not done. I'm really, really enjoying this. At 12, another great story. At 12, they took the boy Jesus to the temple. 12 years old boy.
Right.
So the boy got inside the temple. The parents, the family members, conference was over. Boy could not leave. Boy stayed. He said, wow, oh my goodness, these are very intelligent people. The Bible says Jesus was asking questions. A boy of 12. He asked so many questions and he held up the after conference conversation for 3 days when the family members already traveled until they discovered that boy was not in there. So of course they panicked and they went all the way back only to find this boy in the temple.
Still in the temple.
Asking questions. That's how you know how a teacher is. Now, something was so interesting. Now, the mother said, of course, if it's a Nigerian mom, I know how she will react.
Drama.
Yeah, drama. And the mother said, oh boy, we've been looking for you. The boy was shocked. Why are you looking for me? Don't you know by now? You're my mom.
Right.
That this
is
the thing for me.
This is what I'm here for.
This is what I want you to listen to. To them, the boy was lost. But to the boy, he was found. So what
He found his home.
He found his
purpose.
What can you find that people can actually say you are lost in it? If you want to find it, I want you to tell me something you do that people say, oh my God. You know, when you say somebody is so lost in what he's doing, he's so engrossed. I mean, he said he couldn't find, and he said, my God, this is just, I mean, everybody is gone.
Right.
But this is a 12-year-old boy who found it and said, wow, this is the business.
This is my thing.
This is
my area. I mean, where have I been all this time?
I'm telling you.
Man, so the beauty of finding your purpose is amazing. I think that if, for lack of anything, that's the first number one thing. And he's giving us couple of tips on how to begin that journey.
Right.
Figure out what makes you happy. And narrow it down to the smallest thing. If it's even something as little as smiling, you like to smile. You know, you figure out why do you like to smile, or maybe you like to make other people laugh. Why is it that you want to make people laugh? You know, just go down to be truthful to yourself.
Right.
If you are dishonest, it doesn't help you. You're not helping yourself. You're only hurting yourself ultimately. Hey guys, I mean, I can't believe that we're.
Is this the time?
Yes, that is the time. I mean, the hours like zooming by. Like I'm looking at the clock and it's going past so fast. You know, again, we're talking about Saji. I want you to, maybe share like where they can find you, a little bit your material. He also has a workbook that accompanies this particular book. And really, the purpose is about the topic here was just really trying to inspire, get moving. Right. And maybe before we go, you also want to tell people, some guides, how can they step into, close out the year? Because I don't want to say step into, because we still have 2 weeks is still a lot of time for you to make something happen.
That's true.
And then positioning yourself in the right place for the year ahead.
Right.
If you have anything that you want to share with people, so go ahead and give us a tip about the book, where they can find it and stuff like that.
You can find Don't Die Sitting on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and everywhere books are sold. And you can also buy the digital copies too. On your Kindle, on your iPad, iTunes, iStore, you can get it right there. And also on social media, what we do is definitely inspire people, to maximize their potential and do what God has created them to do. So everywhere on social media, you can follow Saji Group and connect with me or on the website as sajigroup.com.
And Saji is
Saji Group. So just look for Saji Group. There's only one in the world.
So
you can't miss it. You can't miss it at all. Just
certified motivational speaker though. John Maxwell certified and all.
John Maxwell certified. On the leadership stuff, we do a lot of leadership events. We have one of our big events, LeaderCast, coming on May 4.
Okay, where will that be?
That's going to be at the Tough Valley Resort in Ellicott City.
May 4. Around the corner if you are in the DMV area.
Right.
Okay, so, and then give us some of the closing remarks, more so of, how to close out the year on a big note, on a high note, and how to position yourself for success, like you say. About leadership coach.
Right. So to close out your year, go and read about most successful people. They find a way, they find a time, they find a quiet place to reflect. You reflect on what you have done this year. Evaluate your goals. What you say you were going to do at the beginning of the year and what you have done. Now, don't feel bad if you didn't do everything. Nobody did everything. But this is what I want you to pay attention to. Now, when next year comes, please, 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 I'm begging you, don't get carried away with laundry lists of everything you want to do. I already know you're not going to do it. You already know you're not going to do it. So don't make anybody happy by writing 20 things, that you are going to do. Now, what are you doing this year that you need to finish? That is very important. I want you to know that after the 31st of December is the 1st of January. It does not stop what you are doing. The sun is still going to come out. The moon is going to show up in the night. Yes. So don't abandon everything and say, woo, I'm starting this new thing now. Now you abandon everything that you've been doing. And this is another thing people don't pay attention to. that people don't have the discipline
Right.
to carry stuff through. So everybody just get excited with this. Oh my God, it's the new year. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to wake up 4 a.m. every morning. You already know you're not going to do that. Or you can do that
That
for
only
1
lasts
week.
for like 2 weeks.
It's only going to last for 2 weeks. So please pay attention to, if you're writing a book,
Continue writing.
don't terminate it on 31st. Please, on the 1st, go and celebrate. That's fine. On the 2nd, go back to your desk and continue writing. And say, hey, I'm starting another book. No, let's finish the one you were writing. So evaluate, and then please continue. That is very important. There is nothing as successful as consistency. It is not what you do for a year, it's what you do daily. That is where success comes.
So, guys, again, this whole thing of abandoning stuff,
Yeah.
that's a big thing. Because a lot of times, I mean, like you said, it's just the clock that's changing.
It is.
It's just a day.
It's just a day.
It's really, technically, it's just, time is, in God's universe, time, those calendar days is just for us, really. It doesn't make a difference. You wake up one day, wake up in the morning, and it's another day, or
That's
it's
true.
another year. So the key is, it doesn't matter how long it takes you. The key is that you will have a finish date versus abandoning it to go pick up on something new.
else. Yeah.
So take that course, and then it would just be that it took you a year and a half
Right.
at the end of it, or it took you 2 years versus you left it halfway and never finished.
Right.
So key is finishing.
Finishing.
Finish
very
positioning
well.
yourself. If you finish everything and carry it over, you're already positioning yourself
Right.
for a good year ahead.
Right. Another thing for the new year is, please pick one thing you want to change. Just one thing. Don't have 3, 4, 5, 6. Just one thing. If your thing is, you know what, registering for an MBA class this year, believe me, if you can make that happen, it's a great accomplishment. If you're writing a book and say, I'm finishing this book this year, it's a great accomplishment.
True.
But don't have these 5, 6 things. Now you're going to stress yourself crazy. You're going to disappoint yourself. And then you're going to get discouraged.
And a lot of times we self-sabotage ourselves. So
Right.
it's not even people that are contributing to the sabotage. We just talk ourselves out of things. So I want to touch on positivity.
Okay.
You're so positive.
Right.
Somebody watching would be like, wow, he's so positive. It just sounds like everything in life is just rosy for you. Like he has no road bumps. Is it that you've mastered the art of overcoming obstacles, or you're just a naturally positive person? How do you psych yourself into that, and how can someone learn a thing or two from you?
Okay. That is very important. There was a time that someone asked me in college. I was leading a choir in college, and one of my choir members said she wants to see me. And she asked me a question I will never forget. He said, I just want to ask, do you have any problems? I said, wow, how much time have you got? I said, why? Is it because you're always smiling? I said, oh, yeah, that's true. I said, because I have decided that, I won't allow the world to change my smile.
Wow.
My smile is going to change the world. And what I told her is very simple. I decided. You have to decide. Now, a boat or a ship can survive any storm if you don't allow the water outside the boat to come inside the boat. Now, you want to stay positive? Let all the crazy be going on around you. But you want to protect this place. Because a boat will only begin to sink when the water outside begins to get inside.
Wow.
So this is what I do with my smile. With all the craziness going on, I try to keep the water out.
Keep it at distance.
Just keep it at distance. Now, this is another thing. You don't put your head in the sand. You don't deny it. You know it's there. You're dealing with life, but you don't just allow them to get to you. It's okay to have problems, but please, 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 don't let problems have you.
Don't let it drown you.
Don't let it drown you. And I'm going to close with this. Please, when everything is going wrong, don't go with it.
When everything is going wrong, don't go with it.
Don't go with it.
You talked a lot about singing. You're a church boy, grew up in
Right.
church and everything, Are we going to hear some A Christmas note.
Well, there's no piano.
A Christmas note. And a little vocal or something. I'm not going to put you to singing. But
Oh,
hey,
that's okay.
But hey, if you wanted to,
I mean,
who am I?
it's a season of joy.
So
You know.
he even wants to sing out with a Christmas carol for us.
Yeah,
but like it said, count it all joy.
I love that.
Count it all joy.
I love that.
No matter what's going on, you may be going through adversities today. You may be going through trials, but count it all joy because in your adversity, it's a lesson.
It is.
It's a lesson. This book, guys, you want to read it because there are so many things for you. It's a biblical. It stems from. It stems from.
But it's a book about life.
But it's really about life. So many different life experiences, so many angles that he takes. It brings you through from different perspectives, different lenses that you really want to look at. Don't die sitting. So don't have that dream and take it to the grave.
Right. Please don't.
Don't have that book in your mind and you're still waiting for 10 years to come. You have to start with page 1.
Right. This is another thing. This is not marketing. If you need help, we can help. A lot of people, you trust the GPS in your car to take you to where you want to go. Why don't you trust somebody to help you?
Wow.
You already know where you want to go. You just need a guide to help you get there. This is why I tell people, get a mentor.
You need a mentor.
You need a mentor. And we can help if you want.
So if you want a mentor like him,
please reach out. We can help you. There's a way to write a book. I figured that out. So far, I didn't know there's a methodology. And there's a lot of people that want to write a book. Get a mentor. We can help. There's a way to put all your stories together. There's a way to live life. They say success is predictable. Failure is also predictable.
There are so many successful people out there, but how can you be like them?
Right.
They have principles that they live by. You cannot just look at their lives on the superficial level and assume that, that's how you emulate.
That's true.
There are things, there are daily practices, things that you do, routines that you implement on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
Apply them. Action. So you
you
cannot direct a car, a parking car.
No.
To me, that's the one that I'm going to bed with. If the car is parked, you can't give it directions. You must get into the car and get it moving.
Just get it moving. Into G. Drive it.
Get driving, guys. And then we covered fear, which is a big thing. So get fear out of the way, guys. Get fear out of the way, which is the thing. And then what is the big thing? What are some of your practices, your principles of success, the things that you get up in the morning and say, this is what I do for success? Like, how do you psych yourself up for your day?
For my day, this is what I do. I focus on what I need to get done. Little steps. Focus on what you need to get done. I hate to admit it. This is my enemy, and believe me, it's your enemy too. This little thing. Because we have paid so much attention to this phone, this mobile phone, smartphone. Now, the unfortunate thing about smartphone is that, it's making, the phone is smart, but unfortunately, the people are dumb. So, don't let your phone be smarter than you. Okay, somebody look at my WhatsApp. Say, Saji, 640 messages. Why don't you check them? I said, I'm sorry, I don't have time. You cannot respond to everybody.
Consume what is necessary.
Please, you must have a plan of what you want to do. I love what Jim Rohn said. Jim Rohn said, finish your day before you start it.
Outline it. Outline your day.
This is what I'm going to do. So nobody crash land on your calendar. Believe me, Verizon has a program for you. Netflix has a program for you. You know that by now. If you don't have a plan for yourself, you will surely fall into somebody else.
Absolutely.
And I don't want that to happen to you.
So plan your day, guys. Listen, this was a phenomenal. I wish we had more time to continue talking.
Wow, it's an hour already.
The hour just went by. It was like a little conversation that we had. So pick up the book if you're available. There were so many lessons that we learned today. The key thing is you must make a decision which direction you want to go. Right. If it all starts with a decision. If you don't decide, nothing really happens. And I want him to close with that carol. So start thinking about that song that we're going to sing to the end of this to close this out. So I will sing along with you though, so you don't have to worry. I've been singing all day today, and so it's really about get fear out of the way, start moving, guys. It's been a fantastic experience having you here. And motivational talks, guys. Stay motivated. Read the books, read the material. Check them out online, and just continue to feed your soul, feed your mind, feed your spirit with all this stuff. So what's the song that you're gonna?
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let us receive
My voice is
again.
Let
Every heart prepare in room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing.
I butchered that song. That was awesome. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much. Hey guys, I always like to sign off by saying is no one has told you that they love you. I, Diane, I'm telling you that I love you and I love you passionately with the love of God. Go out there and make it a purposeful, intentional, great week. Enjoy yourself and I'll see you again next week for another edition. Thank you so much for having